primary cortex aspiration. This technique begins with a hidrodissection in a single plane. It's intended to separate completely the cortex from the anterior capsule and the posterior capsule. Then, after separating the cortex, I go and aspirate the cortex with the phaco tip. So the first step is releasing all the cortex and then aspirating the cortex, which will leave no cortex left for irrigation and aspiration to be performed. Here another example. I do a dry lift of the anterior capsule and then a single plane injection of BSS to separate completely the cortex and the capsule. Then I go and rotate the nucleus and aspirate all the cortex. You see here I am pulling the nucleus and pushing the nucleus and rotating the nucleus so I can access and make room for the cortex to be aspirated by the phaco tip. The reason I do it is because I have all the cushion from the nucleus material and the epinucleus material to protect the posterior capsule and leave all the epinucleus behind. You see here I'm chopping only the nucleus. I will eventually reach for the epinucleus and use it as a way of polishing the capsule. We learned this with Dr. Neto Rosatelli with the Rosatelli spin. He uses all the material to rub against the posterior capsule and liberate all the cortex. You see here again, there are only some chunks of epinucleus, and then I go and insert the lens. I will use the injector of the IOL to aspirate these fragments. See how I push the embolus and then I retract the embolus, capturing the fragments loosened in the anterior chamber. Here again, I dry lift the anterior capsule while I push the cannula elbow against the incision, so I'm pointing the BSS towards the anterior capsule. It will separate the cortex from the capsule. Here it's a very important tip. I always use the chopper on top of the fragments to keep it from moving upwards to the endothelium. Again, I am using the phaco tip to aspirate the epinucleus, and you see here there's only a tiny bit of cortex left, and I try and go to aspirate with the cortex, but it's not safe. And again, with the IOL injector, I can use it to aspirate the cortex. See there? It is a safe way to remove everything from the anterior chamber. Thank you.